Just moments ago, Earth was completely overtaken by unknown monsters. You had actually figured out a way to break the deadlock. But you couldn't change the ending. On your deathbed, you looked at the plan on the wall. Celestial Heavy Industries. Aerospace Carrier Lingxiao Palace. 33rd Heaven Ascension Platform. Tough Orbital Path. Cannon Bead Swords. Mangpo Soup Concept Weapons. The 4 Mythical Beast Legions, ascending as a nation. Your eyes were full of unwillingness. If only you had found the solution earlier, maybe things could have turned out differently. Your wish seems to have been heard. You open your eyes again. You're back to right before the disaster. Right back at that top emergency meeting. Inside the hall at that moment, there are over 200 experts and researchers seated. Everyone looks extremely grave. Li Lan, the person leading this meeting, is standing at the very front, pointing at a series of photos on the main screen behind. Li Lan said in a deep voice, just yesterday, a gray curtain covered Earth from above. An unknown voice told us that our Earth civilization had been included in a civilization trial. Every month, monsters would randomly appear in different countries. Each monster has only one mission, to destroy our civilization. But then he paused and asked, puzzled, however, according to reports from civil affairs and the military. So far, in China, no sign of monsters has been found. That overwhelming voice yesterday covered the entire world and solemnly announced the trial had begun. It shook the whole planet, including China's top officials. They made decisions right away. A nationwide search for any sign of monsters started. But absolutely nothing turned up. Could this just be a conspiracy from another country? A biologist frowned and questioned. Maybe it's just to start some wild conspiracy, making everyone panic and launching worldwide searches, wasting time and manpower, and resources. Li Lan glanced at him, her eyes running across the crowd. And then, word by word, she said seriously, let me assure everyone, this has nothing to do with other countries. That curtain in the sky showed up out of nowhere, with zero warning, and it locked the whole Earth inside. Spaceships, rockets, and any other technology trying to leave Earth have all stopped working. Actually, right after that voice appeared, the Xia government took instant action, gathered scientific teams to research the curtain, and found out it's not just a background. It's more like an invisible prison, locking everyone on Earth inside. No one's allowed to escape. This kind of technology, no country here on Earth possesses. It can only come from some unknown, mysterious force. After hearing Li Lan, everyone realized how serious this was. In one corner of the meeting, you're staring blankly at it all. Your mind settles back into your body. Once you snap out of it, you quickly check today's date and time. Looking beyond excited, you really have been reborn. Back to right before the disaster. On the second day of the civilization trial, if you remember correctly, right now, every country responded in some way. But no one really understood how critical this was. Civilization disconnection? As the name suggests, only those civilizations that lose contact have a shot at surviving. If they don't pass, they die out, buried forever in Earth's history. And as for Li Lan, she's the head of China's disaster response team. Everyone, I called you here today, mainly to come up with a response plan. This time, our opponent is unknown and mysterious. But China will never just give in. We will fight to the very end. At the front, Li Lan spoke up again, her eyes sweeping past experts from all disciplines and starting to ask for ideas. Experts in biology, genetics, alien civilizations, aerospace, and more. All top people in the country were now all frowning, deeply thinking. Not long after, one feasible suggestion after another started to come up. That voice said, monsters will show up every month. But here in China, it's totally calm. Most likely, those monsters are hiding way out in the wilderness. I suggest a full nationwide search. According to the trial description, every monster has one goal, to wipe out our civilization. We have to strike first. Hurry and find them. Set up a reporting system. Anyone spotting a monster gets a reward for reporting it. Inside the meeting hall, all the experts brainstormed together, coming up with all kinds of targeted advice. But all the focus was on finding these monsters, to eliminate or capture them quickly, and keep China stable. But you, listening in the corner, can't help frowning. This was exactly what you saw in your last life. You were one of those experts then too, actively taking part in the discussion, trying to come up with strategies. But in the end, none of those plans worked at all. The monsters weren't hiding in the untouched wilds at all. They turned into regular people, hiding among real humans. They could disguise as humans, and even infect others in weird ways, taking over high positions bit by bit. By the time China realized it, it was 2 weeks later. At that point, most corporate bosses and mid-level leaders in China had become monsters' allies. That made wiping them out almost impossible. Even so, China showed amazing determination and launched a full nationwide purge. Using tough measures, they crushed every single monster in the first trial, but they lost 1,000 enemies at the cost of 800 men. That setback left the country seriously weakened. National strength plummeted. Every aspect was worse than before. Lin Moni hadn't spoken once. Do you see it differently? As soon as that was said, all 200 experts in the room immediately fell silent, turning to look right at you, with all those eyes on you. You're totally calm. You stand up confidently, meeting everyone's gaze, and say directly, to be blunt, what everyone suggested is just a waste of time. None of it will help in this coming disaster. As soon as you said that, the experts all looked annoyed and angry, staring at you coldly. A few snorted and mocked. We're racking our brains here for solutions. You do nothing. What gives you the right to just criticize? That's exactly what I hate most. People like you who only talk and do nothing. Go ahead, tell me. Why are our plans useless? Because of what you said. The whole meeting room's vibe got super tense in an instant. Lin Mo, go on. Why do you say these plans are a waste of time? Li Lan didn't look happy either, but gave you a chance to explain. It's simple. You walk up confidently, point at a photo on the screen, and speak in a serious tone. The civilization trial started yesterday, and monsters appeared in every country. But a whole day passed, and nothing strange has been reported. Not a single unusual thing. Doesn't that seem odd to you all? What's so odd about that? A sociology expert sneers, arguing the monsters know we'd wipe them out. Of course they'd hide in forests right away. What an idiot. You glance at him, then just ignore him. Next, you scan the crowd and drop a bombshell. They did hide, but they hid among us, disguised as regular people, living and working with us. As soon as you finish, the whole room explodes with shock. Everyone's eyes go wide, staring at you in disbelief. The more they think, the scarier it gets. Your idea freaks them out. The monsters actually disguised themselves as humans. That's why no one found them. You have no proof. Where's your evidence? How can you prove monsters can pass as regular people? Lin Mo, what you're saying is just too wild. Li Lan stares at you, thinking before asking, do you have any proof? Of course, you stand up straighter and look around at the over 200 experts here, scanning the scholars in the room. You say calmly, among us here today, one person is a monster in disguise. With that, everyone's face changes on the spot. They look around nervously at each other. Shock, suspicion, fear, all kinds of emotions fill the room. Don't listen to his nonsense. He must be a spy from another country, trying to mess up our meeting and make us turn on each other. That sociology expert suddenly stands up and yells at you harshly. Seeing this, the tense mood in the room eases a little, compared to what you said. They'd rather believe the sociology expert. But just then, you start walking, heading straight toward that expert. Everyone else quickly backs away in fear, putting distance between you and the sociology expert. Is it him? Can you prove he's the monster? They remember how that expert kept questioning you just now, and it seems even more suspicious. Now they're almost convinced. Let's see how you expose me as a monster. The expert just stands there, not moving an inch, like he's waiting to see you mess up. But no, he's just a fool. You simply shake your head, walk right past him, not stopping at all. You keep heading to another corner of the room. You stop in front of a middle-aged woman, in a white coat, wearing gold-rimmed glasses. Director Wu, mind if I ask where your husband and son are right now? It sounds like a normal question, but it instantly triggers her. She glares at you with hate, her face twisting up, and her body bends at strange angles, joints cracking unnaturally. In just 10 seconds, she starts to lose more and more human features, and finally turns into a monster with a human face, and scales all over its body, crawling on the floor. A vicious and bloody aura fills the room. The whole meeting hall erupts. Over 200 experts and scholars are so scared. They all gasp out loud. Their eyes shrink with shock, and they scramble backward, hiding behind you.
Especially
That sociology expert who kept arguing with you before. He runs even faster than anyone else.
Hey.
The monster's creepy laugh echoes in the room. A violent, deadly vibe spreads instantly. Guards! Guards! Leland shouts in panic, calling out right away. In no time, 5 armed guards rush in. Even they're startled by the monster. But as soldiers, they stay calm, steadying themselves quickly. They open fire on the monster lying on the ground. Gunshots crackle, and the monster tries to lunge forward, but finally collapses in its own blood. What the heck is this thing? Everyone is so shaken up. They all step closer, curious and looking at the monster in the blood. But your next words nearly scare them to death. They jump back, quickly hiding behind you again. Careful, it's not dead yet. And sure enough, in the pool of blood, that ram-horned, human-faced monster is full of bullets, but still insanely tough. You see its heart pounding, still beating strong. Its evil eyes lock onto everyone, full of hate and rage. Its presence alone makes people shiver in fear. Lin Mo, what the hell is going on? Li Lan swallows hard and looks at you confused. If you hadn't pointed it out, no one would have guessed Director Wu's real identity. Outwardly, she looked just like a human, and even took part in the discussions earlier, suggesting several solid nationwide screening plans. Looking back, it makes everyone break out in cold sweat. She was probably taken over right after yesterday's trial began, her mind erased by the monster, which just took over her body. Her husband and kid were probably eaten. You quietly study the vicious monster in the blood. Expression calm, showing no emotion. Before your rebirth, you and your co-workers faced all kinds of monsters. This is nothing special. But in your last life, Director Wu wasn't exposed until much later, not until the 3rd civilization trial, and caused terrible losses to China. Countless comrades died because of that. That's why you exposed her right now in this meeting. She's only eaten 2 people this time, so she's still weak, which makes it easier to deal with. But if she ate 10 and leveled up, then everyone here would be dead. Before I even finished speaking, over 200 experts looked shocked again. The evolved monsters can evolve further, and they do it by eating people. That means these monsters will become even more powerful and even harder to deal with. As everyone was shocked and scared, I continued. That's why I said, all previous plans are useless. In the early stage of the civilization trial, it's the golden time to deal with monsters, because they're still weak. Once the monsters evolve, if we fight them then, the price will be 100 or 1,000 times higher. You clench your fists and look back at Li Lan. Your face is serious. You remind them word by word. We don't have much time left. At this point, you stop talking. You let everyone take it in. Li Lan and the other experts were all shocked by what you just said. They fell into deep thought. At first, they were doubting you. But seeing that monster in the blood pool explained everything. If it weren't for you, they'd still be fooled by the monster. Working alongside the monster, sharing the workload, and exchanging key meeting info, just thinking about it, gave them chills and made them shiver. Since those plans won't work, do you have a better solution? After a while, Li Lan raised her head and looked at you. You could see hope in her eyes. Seeing this, you feel a bit relieved. The whole reason you did all this was to get Li Lan's attention, to earn her trust, because your next plan needs support from the top and support from all of China. Li Lan, as the top leader of the emergency team, has a lot of power. My plan is to set up a monster research institute. Li Lan was stunned. She didn't really get what you meant. She frowned slightly. You want to study these monsters scientifically? It's clear now. These descending monsters, hate human civilization deeply. They're bloodthirsty and brutal, and use humans as food. So far, you're the first to suggest research. Yes, when it comes to these monsters. We know nothing about them. The urgent task is to build an institute and do systematic research to study their traits, analyze their weaknesses, and develop targeted weapons to lower our casualties. Know the enemy and know yourself, and you'll never lose. In my last life, other countries did set up monster institutes, but they were all too late. Even China, which was earliest, only built one in the second round, and only then finished the setup. But being late means always behind, missing the best time. The first monsters to appear, 8 tons of humans, and were fully evolved by then. Analyzing weaknesses, learning traits, weapon research. Li Lan and the others exchanged looks and fell into thought again. Each new round, the monsters will only get worse. We'll be fighting even scarier monsters. So strong it's beyond our understanding. If human tech can't keep up with these monsters, our total destruction is what waits for us. Our civilization will end. The room went dead quiet. Everyone's faces showed deep shock. You're being way too dramatic. This strange trial is weird, but no one thought it'd mean our end. China has 5,000 years of amazing civilization. Will it end with us?
Guys, I'm not exaggerating.
Let's not talk about the distant future. Every monster that arrives kills its host's mind instantly and pretends to be human among us. Once they take over those in power, stopping mid-sentence, you pause and don't say more, leaving space for everyone to think. Li Lan and the rest looked even more upset. You're totally right. The monsters show up randomly. If they take over important people, the damage is hard to estimate. The worst part is, these monsters are masters at disguise. They hide among people and act just like us, nearly impossible to spot. If you hadn't reminded them this time, they would have been dumb enough to discuss monster strategy with a monster. Let's vote on Lin Mo's proposal. Li Lan slowly looked up and faced the group. Should we set up the Monster Research Institute now? And start research right away. Everyone reacted and glanced at each other. After a short pause, they all made up their minds. Everybody was convinced by what you said. They voted yes. 221 votes agreed. Li Lan looked at the final results and nodded. So I hereby announce the Monster Research Institute is officially founded. As for the first director, all the experts in the room looked straight at you. As the founder, no one is better qualified to lead. Lin Mo, you'll be the first director. How do you feel about that? Li Lan smiled lightly. You could see expectation and respect in her eyes. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary people. She also noticed, you seem to know quite a bit about the monsters. You already figured out. They blend in with regular people. No hesitation. You agreed without backing off and accepted it right away. All right then, on behalf of China County, I give the Institute top-level access for anything you need, be it staff, supplies, weapons, or lab gear. Other departments will give you priority. Your research means everything for China's future. It's tied to the safety of countless people. Please find a way to spot these monsters soon and expose all the monsters hiding among humanity. That's what worries me the most. The longer monsters hide in our society, the worse the damage will be. Time's running out. The sooner we catch them, the safer China will be. The less danger there is. Don't worry, China. You forced down your excitement. Zheng nodded seriously. You finally gained the trust of upper management. That's not all. Milan even made an exception and let you be the first director. Just like that, you can carry out your plans even better now. In your past life, China held out, fought back fiercely. By round 12, the best minds from all research teams came up with the sci-fi Heavenly Court project to suppress the monsters. Sadly, it was too late. The nation had already fallen. Chaos was uncontrollable. In the end, nothing could save it. But this time, you took the lead from the very start. Everything is possible. After that night's meeting, all the experts and scholars who attended left with mixed and nervous feelings, and the approval for setting up the Monster Research Institute moved at an incredible pace, passed through all levels of review. thanks to Li Lan insisting against the opposition. It landed in your hands. In Yanjing, the old science ministry site was sectioned off and became the office area for the institute. The military even sent an entire battalion to handle security for the institute. No one can enter without high-level approval or your permission. Entry is strictly forbidden. Each department sent their best staff, assigned to the Monster Research Institute. Even the creature that was lying in a pool of blood was moved to the institute, locked up in a temporary tungsten steel prison. In just half a day, from U.S. director to regular staff, the whole team was set up in no time. Director Sue reported in. I'll help with your daily work and take care of your living needs. A beautiful woman, tall and slender, wearing formal office attire, stood respectfully in front of you. She used to work at the science ministry. She's young, but works quickly and efficiently. Never wastes time. One of the best. Li Lan transferred her here, mainly to assist you, to push the institute's progress. Old Sue, you looked at your new assistant. Your expression was a bit dazed. In your past life, Sue was your colleague. You fought side by side with her. She was a gentle woman, but worked harder than most men. Eventually, during a monster emergency, she died with the monster, buried by a rocket launcher. Director, are you calling me? Sue paused for a moment and asked uncertainly. You finally snapped out of it. Her figure and your memories overlapped. You smiled gently, reached out your hand. Hello, nice to meet you. Director Lin, our research institute is now set up. What's your next move? You didn't seem to care. You just shrugged. You gave your orders right away. Inform all researchers in the institute. Prepare for our first monster dissection. Sue answered right away, then hurried off, efficient and direct. Half an hour later, with Sue's notice, the assembled research team all gathered in the lab. The lab was packed with all kinds of equipment, all temporarily relocated from other departments. The best tech in China. Soon, a monster tightly chained by 10 alloy chains was carried in by 3 armed soldiers. Director, it's healing really fast. Are you sure you want to research it? The lead soldier asked in a serious tone, but his eyes never left the monster. He looked ready for anything. Relax, old Chun. It can't break free. You waved your hand, signaling the researchers to step up. They put the constantly roaring and vicious monster onto the dissection table. Director, do you know me? The soldier who spoke froze for a second. He looked at you surprised. You smiled slightly. You didn't answer. Not just know him. Back in your last life, as colleagues, you and Chen Gang fought side by side. Together you took out over 100 monsters. You were true battle partners. Originally, it would have been 3 months. You and he would only have met after the research institute was set up. But this time, thanks to your suggestion, the institute was founded early, so you two met ahead of time. All right, let's start the dissection. You snapped back from your memories, took a deep breath, and stepped onto the table first. Seeing this, the bloody-faced monster bared its teeth at once. It tried to attack. Sue and the others looked startled. They unconsciously stepped back a few paces, facing something unknown like this. They were all nervous and scared, but you looked totally calm. You strolled right up, just a meter away, picked up the scalpel with ease, and slashed hard at the monster's chest scales. The cut left a faint scratch. That scalpel is sharp as hell, but it still can't get through its defense. Log it. Monster number 001. Nickname, the Undying. Goat head with a human face. Body covered in scales. Regular blades. And standard guns can't really harm it. Sue snapped out of it, grabbed her notebook, and quickly wrote down everything you said. Her eyes showed hints of surprise. Cutting up a monster this calmly? Not everyone can handle that. Bring the pliers. Then you suddenly spoke. Sue rushed over and handed you a pair. You took them, grabbed one of the monster's scales, used the equipment nearby, and yanked that scale hard. With a loud pop, the scale was ripped off. The monster shrieked in pain, its body spasming and trembling. It glared at you with pure hatred, but you ignored it, not bothered at all. You said the Undying has super strong defense, all thanks to these scales. even normal undyings. Only big bullets can hurt them. Team 1, analyzing these scales, is now your job. Then you toss the scale behind you to the materials science team. Next, you picked up a wrench and aimed at the monster's horns. Its horns aren't ordinary, seemingly the source of its power. No matter how much it gets hurt, as long as you don't kill it outright, it keeps healing fast. There was a loud crack as the machine pulled hard, snapping the horn on its forehead and tearing it out from the scalp. The sharp howls didn't stop. Everyone was terrified by the scene. Don't pity the monster. Showing mercy to them is being cruel to our people. Team 2, analyzing the horn, is now yours. After giving out instructions, you turned around and spoke in a stern voice. Each group get to work now. Full dissection research. All departments. I want all its data within 3 days. The researchers glanced at each other. Even though they were nervous, they had to step up anyway. They shakily walked onto the table. Through the monster's howls and screams, they started their own research. Before reporting to the institute, their old bosses had all talked to them. They knew the importance of monster research. Plus, with you, the director, leading by example, showing them firsthand how to dissect monsters, they had no excuse to back out. 7 days later, director of the institute, that goat-headed monster died in the lab. Sua carried a stack of files and hurried into your office to report the latest progress. In those 7 days, the team gave the monster a full, all-angle, inside-out dissection. Every part of it was separated. They used the best equipment, analyzing its composition and properties, collected tons of monster data, but the monster was just too weak. It only lasted 7 days, and then all signs of life were gone. It died completely in the research room. Dead is dead. We got first-hand intel on monsters. That's all we needed. It has no other research value now, so its body can still be useful. Turn it into a specimen and hang it in my office as a souvenir. Sua was stunned. Her face was full of shock. She started secretly looking at you. This boss is about the same age as her, but way too twisted. Even the experts worked for 7 days, having nightmares every night. But you still want the corpse as a trophy and hang it in your office. Give me the files. You suddenly reached out towards Sua's chest. She blushed at your move, then realized what you meant a moment later. Handed you the stack of files. These are all the research results on the monster over 7 days. Director, there's something I don't get. You called this monster No. Oh, one, the Undying. Does that mean there will be more monsters in the future? Sua glanced at those files and finally asked her burning question. Right now, the world is at peace. Many have already forgotten the trial of civilization 7 days ago. Only when they occasionally look up can they see the gray veil in the sky, shrouding the stars and the heavens. Of course, that monster was just the start. In truth, within China now, various departments have doubts about your Monster Research Institute. They think you're overreacting. Some experts even believe the monster Director Wu became is just some kind of undiscovered mutant species on Earth. They see no need for such grand research. By the way, what about the military? Is the demon hunting task force approved? Not yet. They think they can handle it. They want us to focus on research. They'll handle the rest. You frowned. It was just as you expected. The newly formed institute only has Leland's personal trust. Other departments don't take this small institute seriously. Sue, take these sorted files to the cabinet. Taking a deep breath, you took out SS's level encrypted files and handed them to Sua. Cabinet elders were handling affairs. Old Wang's 7 days have passed. Neither in China nor elsewhere has anything unusual been found. Lately, the institute is grabbing staff, equipment, and resources first. Other departments are complaining. Are you making a mountain of a molehill? Maybe Director Wu was just a one-off. The elders all stared at Li Lan. He felt the heavy pressure immediately. He frowned. It was his personal guarantee that pushed the institute's creation and gave it top priority. He even broke the rules to make you the first director. But for 7 days, the whole world has been calm. The monster talk feels like chasing shadows. The US and others have done nothing. Only China is jumping at shadows. setting up this institute. Li Lan felt quite conflicted. Just then, a guard rushed into the room. Report, sir. The institute sent SS-level top-secret files. Everyone was stunned to hear this. Top-secret files? A military elder shook his head.
He said they just saw me recently.
They wanted a demon hunting team. Likely about that again. He carelessly took the report, tore the seal, and pulled out the documents. He took a quick glance, but the casual look on his face vanished instantly. His eyes filled with pure shock. What? How is this possible? The other elders looked at each other. Sensing something big, they walked over to the military elder. When they saw the report, content clearly, everyone's expression changed. Shock, panic, and fear. The institute made a breakthrough so fast. They have all the monster's habits. It's high defense, rapid healing, and extreme vitality. Named 001, the Immortal. It has super high defense. It feeds on flesh. The more human flesh it eats, the faster it levels up. The higher its level, the stronger its defense, and the more damage it causes. LVL1 eats 10 people. To reach LVL2, LVL2 eats 100. To reach LVL3, LVL3 eats 1,000. To reach LVL4, LVL4 needs a nuke to kill. They looked at each other, swallowing hard. They couldn't hide their shock. The Institute's efficiency is insane. In just 7 days, they analyzed the monster's data and its evolution so thoroughly. Is this data actually real? The military elder gripped the report, staring at the guard. If this is true, then the military must rethink the threat level. I'm not sure, sir. But Sua from the Institute is waiting. The guard scratched his head. Send her in. Sua walked in cautiously. She saw all the top leaders. Men who could change China with a single word. Now they were all like students, staring at her curiously. Is this secret data definitely real? The military elder spoke first, his voice deep, his sharp eyes fixed on Sua, full of scrutiny. This data, the director led us for 7 hard days to compile this. The info and data on the monster have been tested repeatedly. We're 99.6% sure it's accurate. The Immortal was studied until it died.
Hearing this,
Everyone looked strange. The monster was studied to death. Your institute must be crazy, but it also proves the reliability of this report. Gentlemen, it doesn't look good. Lin Mo's model predicts that within China, at least 50 to 100 immortals are hiding. He had quickly read the report and noticed this conclusion. He knew you well, without being absolutely sure. You would never make such a claim. The elders looked at each other. Their eyes flickered with deep worry. Lin Mo is too capable. The institute is only 7 days old, yet they have such detailed data. The efficiency and results are beyond their imagination. But at the same time, it made them feel uneasy and full of dread. 50 to 100 immortals, hiding among 1.4 billion people. They will keep eating flesh to grow stronger, though the report says every person they eat takes time to digest. Once they reach level 3 or 4, their defense will peak. Nothing but a nuke can hurt them. Don't worry, leaders. Just then, Sua spoke up boldly. The director said before I came, we found them early. 1 step ahead means always ahead. For now, we have the edge. The immortals are still weak. They are trying to hide their identity, afraid to eat people in the open. We just need to hold a press conference, teach the public about the monster's habits, announce safety tips, warn people about potential monster attacks. If anything unusual is spotted, report it right away. That'll help us catch most disguised monsters. Everyone was intrigued by the idea. Their eyes lit up. Smiles appeared instantly. Yeah, you're right. Monsters showing up in China are only at level 1 right now. They're still pretty weak. As long as folks stay alert, report anything odd right away. That'll help us find them. Unless they stop eating people. But if they don't eat, they can't grow or evolve. That's almost impossible. So the advantage is definitely ours. Old Wang, you're spot on this time. Lin Mo is qualified to lead the hospital. An elder looked at Li Lan, clearly moved. His expression was full of admiration and approval. The other elders nodded in agreement. Without your research report, They'd know nothing about monsters. They'd be searching blindly, totally, in the dark, let alone making accurate judgments or responses. I suggest raising the priority and benefits for the Research Institute. We could boost them even higher. Agreed, I support that too. And the press conference should be handled by the Monster Research Institute. Let the pros do their jobs. Also, we need to upgrade security measures for Director Lin Mo. If the 001 group learns about this, they might target Director Lin Mo. Right now, both the Institute and Director Lin Mo are vital to China. I second the motion. The elders quickly came to a consensus and made a series of decisions. The military elder waved his hand decisively, and on a document that hadn't been approved yet, he signed his name and wrote special instructions. Pull the best troops from each military district. Send them to the Monster Research Institute. Form a demon hunting team. Follow Director Lin Mo's orders unconditionally. Research Institute office. Wait, you want me to be the host? Sewer Ace's eyes went wide, pointed at his own nose. Totally in disbelief, he'd just returned from the cabinet. Came to report to you. And now you gave him another job. I'm planning to launch a live stream on our official site. Open a channel for the Monster Research Institute. Educate all 1.4 billion citizens about the specifics of 001, dead ones and their traits. How to deal with them. You look good. Your image is great. It'd be a waste not to be the host. You're pretty handsome too. Why not host yourself? Have you ever seen a leader hosting a stream? The stream starts this afternoon. Go change your clothes. Don't dress so formally. Look a bit more gentle and casual. It's part of the job. Sewer glanced at his work outfit. Felt like you had some extra motives, but couldn't prove anything. That afternoon, Sewer wore his usual casual clothes. Walked into the recording studio. Swapped out his usual sharp look. Looked like a wholesome girl next door. Saw the streaming equipment was ready. He nervously sat in front of the camera. First time hosting, he wasn't confident. Until he heard your voice. He calmed himself down. Got into work mode. Faced the camera, showed a sweet smile. Hi, viewers. I'm Sewer from the Monster Research Institute. Starting today, we'll answer your questions live here. Respond to anything about monsters. Right after the intro. He found the stream eerily quiet. Barely any viewers were online. Not a single comment. Director, he looked depressed. Looked at you playing on your phone across from him. No rush, I've already told the other departments. This afternoon, all web traffic nationwide will be funneling into our stream. Before this broadcast, you specially notified the cabinet and got some super privileges. Viewership won't be a problem. Meanwhile, Mobo, the biggest blog platform in the country, pinned a notice on top, knocked a celebrity out of first place. Hot search put front and center. The notice called National Survival. Everyone's duty. Catchy headline. Quickly stirred up curiosity online. Masses clicked on the notice and got redirected to an external streaming page. To the live stream. A sweet pure beauty showed up, hosting the stream, claiming to work at the Monster Research Institute. Did hackers just break in? What's happening? Mobo just got wrecked. Where are the IT folks? Monster Research Institute. What is this group? I've never heard of it. Gotta admit, this girl is really pretty. If she was my wife, I'd live in a mansion every day, no complaints. Bro, you really hate losing out, huh? In the stream, the once quiet screen, filled with comments, flooding everywhere, packed densely. Viewer count suddenly shot up over 10,000. At the same time, largest short video platform in the country. Everyone who opened it saw the same video. In the clip, a human face with head raised, monster covered in scales, staring fiercely at them, made everyone shudder, gave them chills. Before people could react, redirected to the external live stream page. Damn, was that monster a prank? Scared the hell out of me. Monster Research Institute. What is this group? Hey there, pretty girl. Can you show your talent? Can you do the splits? Bro, I'll buy you a yacht. The host looks stunning. Way better than celebs. Even though the monster pic scared some people, her looks kept everyone watching. People stayed in the stream quietly and joined the flood of comments. Almost at the same time, every internet platform in the country received orders from the authorities to pin the Monster Research Institute's live stream link to the top. As long as you're a user on the platform, you'd be redirected to the Institute's live broadcast. At the same time, all major TV networks were broadcasting live too. Even those elderly people who can't use smartphones still couldn't miss this broadcast on TV. You could say this live stream covered all of China, every area and person with internet access. Truly unprecedented. The viewership reached 80 million. Sewer watched the numbers skyrocket and couldn't help but gulp.
He thought it was just a small stream.
Never expected the director to make it so massive. The pressure hit him instantly. He knew there couldn't be any mistakes. Let's start the briefing. But you kept a straight face and simply nodded at him. The civilization trials happen once a month. Everyone will encounter different monsters eventually. We need to get everyone mentally prepared. Dear viewers, I'm Sewer from the Monster Research Institute. As the name suggests, our institute is focused solely on monsters. I'm sure you all remember. 8 days ago, that gray fog appeared above Earth. It hasn't faded since. We can confidently tell you, every civilization on Earth is facing a brutal challenge called the civilization trial. It's a harsh test. Any civilization that fails will be wiped out, its traces erased forever from history. With 80 million people watching live, Noor made a shocking statement. He dropped a huge bombshell, revealing the truth about the civilization trial. The chat instantly exploded. Countless comments flooded in. The screen was packed with messages. You couldn't even read what people said. And now, the world is going through the first civilization trial. Unknown numbers of monsters have already appeared in our country. They're disguised as regular people, living right among us. Could be your father, your son, your wife, your daughter. They feed on humans, with bloodthirsty and violent instincts. If you notice anything strange about anyone around you, call the 12,111 hotline immediately. Contact the Monster Research Institute right away. As soon as he said this, viewers all over the country went wild. What do you mean? Are there friends, family, co-workers, really monsters in disguise? This truth was hard for many to accept at once. That's insane. People watching the stream couldn't help but glance at those around them. They slightly twitched their lips, not really believing Sewer S-words. If the institute wasn't backed by the government, they'd think this whole thing was a joke. Don't jump to conclusions, everyone. Here's the monster response guide we published. It's here to help you stay safe during work and daily life and spot disguised monsters. We'll keep reading these out during the broadcast. Please remember them. Rule 1. Monsters won't reveal themselves in public. Never wander away from crowds. Rule 2. If you see anyone acting strangely, don't freak out. Call the police immediately and ask them for help. Rule 3. Never easily trust anyone, even if they're your own parents. Rule 4. If someone around you goes missing, don't make a scene. Report it quietly. They might already be in danger. Rule 5. After 10 p.m., monsters are most likely to hunt, so don't go out alone. Rule 6. If you notice your coworker's lips are red, that might not be ketchup. It could be from a coworker. As each rule got announced, viewers started realizing this wasn't a prank. Every rule sounded seriously creepy. Are people around them really being replaced by monsters? Monsters disguised as regular people, living and eating with them, just to secretly eat them. Streamer, you're freaking us out. It even sounds real. Are monsters really hiding among us? We're doomed. There's no way I'll sleep tonight. I sleep in my company's dorm now. I just want to move out fast. After hearing all these rules, now everyone looks like a monster to me. The rules said it clearly. Never be alone. Monsters don't expose themselves easily. In the live room, the number of viewers quietly broke 100 million. These are the real numbers online, not fake data from the platform. Almost every internet user was watching. Psychologically, for all these people, it was a huge shock. Monsters really exist, and they're hiding right next to us. If you're not careful, you'll be targeted by a monster and become their food. The rules are clear. Normal people against monsters. The difference is like a boxer versus Mike Tyson. Fighting back just excites the monsters more. Panic, fear, worry, and despair are in everyone's hearts right now. Don't be too negative. If you spot a monster, call 12,111 to report it right away. Trust China. And trust the Monster Research Institute. We'll do everything we can to keep everyone safe. As soon as those words left his mouth, viewers paused for a moment, then started calling non-stop, flooding the Institute's hotline. Director, something's wrong. The lines are overloaded. A staff member rushed into the studio. Volume reported to you nearby. Expand county connections. Redirect more calls. Add more operators now. Keep the hotline open 24/7. The broadcast finally worked. Now everyone knows more about monsters. You believe that with 1.4 billion people reporting, the monsters here can't hide. Unless in the past 8 days, they haven't harmed anyone or committed any crimes. But that's nearly impossible. Across the ocean, the U.S. Defense Department soon heard about the live broadcast in Daxia. All of China's internet traffic was flocking to the stream. James stared at Suor on the screen and twitched his mouth a little, then sneered. Daxia's really lost it. They actually think monsters are living among regular people and are even spreading panic, making up their so-called monster rules. They're afraid people won't be scared enough, purposely spreading panic. It's like they want chaos everywhere. Remember, Daxia has 1.4 billion people. If this keeps up, we won't even need monsters to cause trouble. Daxia will be a mess all on its own. Sir, we searched in America for a week. We only got one blurry picture of the monster. Didn't find anything else. Is there any chance Daxia's theory is true? One of James' assistants suddenly spoke up, sounding worried. James frowned when he heard that. He was silent for a moment, then shook his head. Definitely not possible. No monster can disguise itself as a human and live normally in human society, even though they never found the monster. They never once considered the monster could be disguised as a human. They didn't think in that direction. That's just mind-blowing. A monster that can pretend to be an ordinary person clearly has high intelligence. After all these years of evolution on Earth, only humans gain that level of intelligence. Ask the Defense Department to keep searching. The monster must be hiding somewhere. James' eyes flickered. He denied his assistant's theory. Foreign water pipe. World's largest video platform. Monster Research Institute from Daxia streaming live. Someone quickly reposted it here too. It instantly sparked heated discussions nationwide. Crowds watching reached a record high. Are you kidding me? My friends and family are monsters. I'm really curious. How can he read the monster rules with a straight face? How does he not crack up? I thought Daxia has 9 years of compulsory education. How are there so many people who slipped through? As for the Monster Research Institute, it's just a joke. Most netizens scoffed at the monster rules announced by Suor. No one believes. Monsters are already hiding among humans, blending in around them. As for the Research Institute, this live stream made it more controversial than ever. It's become a global laughingstock. People are mocking Daxia for losing its mind, for inventing such an institute.
8 days ago.
Earth did get shrouded in a gray curtain, but nobody knows if monsters really appeared. What if it's some country's prank? Only Daxia is super paranoid, and in no time at all, set up a Monster Research Institute. They just don't get it. Aside from spreading panic, freaking out the public, does it do anything else? Tianjin Monster Research Institute, Daxia. As the live feed continues, their monster hotline is overloaded. Dozens of calls flood in every minute. You added 100 operators just to handle all the reports from across the country. Is this the Monster Research Institute hotline? I just watched the live stream. I think my roommate has issues. Last night I saw some meat stuck in his teeth. He lied and said he was eating hot pot with my girlfriend. Come on. There's no way my girlfriend would eat hot pot with him. Hello, sir. We think your girlfriend might be in love. Hello. I'd like to report something. I suspect my coworker is a monster in disguise. I lent him $3,000 2 days ago.
He keeps delaying paying me back.
He never used to be like this. Hello, sir. Please don't insult monsters. Monsters only eat people. They never borrow money. Hello, police. Please help. I'm in a bathroom stall in my office building. I heard a man's voice in the restroom. Could it be a monster? The operators are patient and focused. They listen carefully to every call and record all the tips from callers. In no time, thousands of tips were collected. However, most of these tips are just random guesses from netizens. Nothing to do with monsters. Director, a college student reported. He saw a monster with a sheep's head who ate his roommate. Now he's hiding in his dorm closet. Suddenly, an operator hung up the phone and rushed straight over to you, handing you a crucial clue. Location. Your pupils contracted. You asked sharply, "Where is it?" "It's at Ligong University on the outskirts of Yanjing. Demon hunting team, gather up. Get ready to move out." You made the call instantly and gave the order. After official approval, elite troops assigned from the military have started arriving at the research institute. You placed 300 people into the demon hunting team, with Chun Gang as the leader. But Chun Gang looked troubled. He seemed hesitant. The team just formed. No chance to train yet. No excuses. Fighting is the best training. Yes, Director. Chun Gang paused, but quickly understood. He saluted and walked off. 300 assigned members lined up in front of you. The demon hunting team is supposed to have 300 members, and all 300 are present. 300 stand tall and proud, eyes sharp like hawks. Each of them comes from a military district. They're the best of their kind, mastering all sorts of combat skills. This mission will be extremely dangerous. Also, I'll live stream the whole operation. If you're scared or worried about your reputation, you can back out now. As soon as you finish speaking, all 300 blushed deeply and stared right at you, like this is a huge insult to them. To them, ever since they enlisted, they've never feared death. Protecting the country is their lifelong belief. Dying in battle is their greatest honor. You're not afraid of death. 300 spoke in unison, their voices booming. They answered you with a roar, like a tidal wave. Good, move out. Ligong University in Yanzhou. Ligong University in Yanzhou. The campus security guard was totally stunned by the sudden arrival. Fully armed, everyone carrying live ammo with you. Almost scared him enough to call the cops. Emergency notice. Monster Research Institute. We're temporarily taking over your school. Chun Gan quickly stepped up, showed his ID, then led the demon hunting team inside the campus, heading straight to the student dorms. Sewer is in charge of live streaming all of this live. The stream exploded again instantly. What's going on? Why are they suddenly at my school? What's the demon hunting team's code? Looks like they've found the monster's trail. This demon hunting team. Is this group dedicated to hunting monsters? Their gear is so fancy. Those must be real guns? People online are shocked. It's intense all the way. Everyone's glued to the screen. Led by Chun Gang. The demon hunting team quickly zeroes in on a student dorm building. They call out all the students inside and have them stand in the open area in front of the dorm. There are at least 1,000 people. These students all look completely confused. They stare at Chun Gang and his armed team, not knowing what to do. No one has a clue what's going on. Who called the cops? You step forward first and ask in a loud voice. I called. I saw a monster eat my roommate. A pale college student steps up, nervously looking around. He watches everyone warily, afraid someone will suddenly turn into a monster. You have no idea who the monster is. You frown, feeling instinctively that this won't be easy. There are over 1,000 students in this whole building. It's obvious the monster is hiding among them. Finding them is seriously difficult. We need to launch the Sci-Fi Heavenly Court plan. You sigh to yourself, muttering under your breath. The Sci-Fi Heavenly Court was created before Waxia was destroyed in the previous world, put together with all the power of Waxia. It was the plan to deal with crises. It has a lot of functions. It can suppress monsters and seal off weird stuff, and even identify monsters. That's just one little feature. But now you can only use the most primitive method and check for monsters one by one. Everyone, show your ID. You wave your hand and start a full-scale check on the 1,000+ students in the open area. Based on what the reporter said, he saw the monster eat his roommate 2 hours ago. Apparently, after the monster realized the team was here, it disguised itself again, hiding out among these students. 2 hours later, after rounds of cross-checking, all the students on site have had their identities verified by the demon hunting team. But Chief, everyone's been checked. Chun Gang comes up to you, shakes his head, and says there was nothing strange found. They're probably not monsters in disguise. During this round of questioning, they screened everyone strictly using your monster guidelines. Nothing popped up. No one showed any signs of being a disguised monster. There's still one person left. But you shake your head, your eyes flashing gold. We checked everyone. Chun Gang is a bit stunned. Looks at the crowd. Outside on the open area, the 300-person demon hunting squad surrounds everyone, checking and questioning each one, looking for physical features. He's sure no one slipped through, except the dorm manager. You guys didn't check him yet. You turn around as you say this, your eyes scanning the crowd, and you lock onto a middle-aged man on the edge. Huang Zilong, you're the manager of this dorm. Where have you been the past 3 hours? Where were you? Before you even finish, Chun Gang and the others' faces suddenly change, and they instinctively pick up their weapons, aiming at this bland-looking middle-aged guy. Are you making a mistake? The middle-aged man looked innocent. He swallowed nervously, lost in confusion. Tens of millions of viewers in the live stream. Everyone was going wild at that moment. He became a monster. What about him looks like a monster at all? I've been watching this stream for 2 hours, just to see the monster. And now this is what I get? If he's a monster, I'll jump from the 18th floor. The chat was extremely excited. Everyone thinks you're just making stuff up here. All to deal with this awkward situation. Plus, this dorm manager is way too average. He's the type who just blends into the crowd. No standout features at all. He doesn't look anything like a monster. Monster Code, Rule 7, 4001 Undead. When disguising themselves, their horns can't be totally hidden. Can you take off your hat? You glance at the chat, calmly stared at the dorm manager, pointed at the cap on his head. The corners of your mouth lifted. Can you take off your hat? The dorm manager gazed deeply at you. A golden light flashed in his eyes. Suddenly, murderous intent started brewing. Monster Code, Rule 10. After eating a person, the monster's stomach turns bright red and stays that way for 24 hours. Dare to take off your shirt? You ignored him completely and kept talking. Monster Code, Rule 14. The monster can disguise perfectly, but its weight doesn't change. Here's a scale, facing the livestream camera. You spoke confidently, using the monster code to expose the dorm manager again and again, publicly calling him out. Enough? That's it? The dorm manager shouted loudly. Cut you off. He ripped open his shirt violently, showing his crimson stomach. His human body started twisting and morphing. In just a few seconds, the transformation was done. Revealed his true form, a four-legged monster with ram horns and a human face crawling. He glared fiercely at you. He sneered. You really know a lot about my kind. Murderous intent filled the whole place instantly, like a real defensive aura. Chun Gang yelled out. He quickly stood in front of you. The cabinet has issued a kill order. Your safety is China's top priority. Anyone else can die, but not you, not even a scratch. The other students on the ground saw the monster transform right before their eyes. They screamed in terror, faces pale as ghosts. Total chaos broke out. The demon hunting squad started their mission, but you stayed calm as ever and gave battle commands in a deep voice. Chun Gang glanced sideways. You wiped the sweat from your forehead. Standing so close to the monster, his heart was beating fast, extremely tense, but the director was cool and collected. He didn't even blink. Demon hunting squad. Listen up. Tactic 1. Aim for the horns and shoot. Chun Gang took a deep breath, led the charge. Fired first, trying to kill the monster before it attacked. Strike first to take down the monster. Tactic 1 was your plan. Targeting the weakness of the 001 undead. Avoid its body defenses. Focus on attacking its horns. Research shows the horns are the source of the undead's power. Wow, you even know our weak spots. We can't let you live. One undead saw this and roared in rage again. He sneered and lunged at you with everything he had. Rat-tat-tat, demon hunters opened heavy fire. Intense gunfire pinned down 001 undead. Each bullet hit the monster's body, but was blocked by scales. Didn't really cause any harm. That defense level means it's eaten at least 5 people. You stared hard at the monster. A chill ran down your spine. Killing intent surged. Meanwhile, the fight in front of the dorm was since live by HD cameras. The battle outside the dorm building was watched closely by millions online. The monster revealed its true form and fought the demon hunters. Everything happened in a flash, but turned everyone's beliefs upside down, changed how people saw the world. Monsters really exist. By now, no one doubts you anymore. Monsters are hiding in human society, lurking right among them, feeding on their own kind. Even bullets can't hurt them. Monster code. Quick, memorize the monster code. The director used the monster code just now to identify the monster. From now on, anyone wearing a hat near me, I'm punching them. This monster is brutal. I don't even have the guts to look at it. Got to respect those demon hunters. I respect Director Lin even more. When he interrogated the monster, they were only about 3 meters apart. The chat went wild. Everyone vented their shock and disbelief. They're genuinely impressed by you. Thinking back to that moment, if it were them, if they knew it was a monster ahead of time, they'd run as far away as possible. But you took the lead, stood just 3 meters from the monster. That takes guts most people don't have. You have to win. Watching the intense battle on screen, the viewers in the live stream were filled with anxiety and worry. 300 demon hunters, heavy firepower, yet they were barely holding their own against the monster. It made them realize how powerful monsters really are. A deeper understanding of their strength. Ordinary people meet a monster. All they can be is food. Even Tyson wouldn't survive. Fear, terror, confusion, all kinds of emotions in everyone's heart. Is this the end for humanity? Right then, the camera suddenly switched angles, focusing on you at the command post. You stood alone in the back, constantly adjusting tactics, correcting Chung Gang and others' combat methods. It was an ordinary scene, but it sparked a fire, a sense of safety, filling their hearts. With Director Lin here, we won't lose. Someone posted that in the chat, and the whole stream blew up. A flood of comments surged in, all saying with Director Lin, we won't lose. Millions turned into copy-pasters in the stream, repeating the same phrase over and over. In front of the dorm at Yanzhou Polytechnic University, half an hour later, the gunfire finally faded away. Report. Chang Gang, clutching his wounded right arm, walked up to you. The demon hunters completed their mission successfully. Target 001, the Undying, is completely incapacitated. Right behind him, that arrogant monster, the ram-horned creature that tried to kill you, is now lying in a pool of blood. Still savage, but one of his ram horns has been violently broken off.
His scales
Were pierced multiple times by large caliber bullets. He has totally lost his combat ability. But things aren't looking good for the demon hunting squad either, including him. Over 100 are injured. 2 are in critical condition. And that's thanks to your tactical guidance. Without your advice, their casualties would have been much worse. So, in this battle, they didn't lose, but they didn't win either. Take him back to the research institute. You wave your hand, feeling heavy-hearted too. The demon hunting squad may be elite soldiers, but they lack teamwork and aren't familiar with fighting monsters, so they have to train tactics fast. The monsters will only get stronger in the future. Time is running out for them. The research director's livestream has over 100 million viewers now. With a pale face, Sewer steps forward, fighting her discomfort to give her report. You raise your eyebrows and look deeply at your beautiful assistant. This operation, Sewer stayed behind you the entire time. Doing the live stream? It's her first time seeing a monster's brutal, bloody fight. Yet she can still stand and give her report. No wonder, back when the city lab was attacked by monsters, she tried to take the monsters down with her. But this time, that won't happen. You won't give monsters any chance to threaten Huaxia again. With the fight over, viewers finally relax. Comments flood the screen. Awesome! Research Institute rocks. Director Lin, I'm your biggest fan now. That monster is tough. It survived such heavy firepower and didn't die on the spot. What's the female host's name? Guys, I really like her. Who doesn't really? After seeing the truth about monsters, People's nerves eased up a bit. After this, the Monster Research Institute, and your name became known to everyone. You went completely viral. People even printed out the monster manual and started memorizing it. Many have started copying your methods, trying to spot monsters using the monster manual, even though they're still scared of monsters every time they think of you. In the Monster Research Institute, they feel more confident. They're not fighting alone. Waxia is always protecting them. Across the ocean, at the US Department of Defense, so monsters can really disguise as humans? Johnson's pupils contracted, shocked as he watched the live stream. On the screen, Waxia sealed off a university campus and caught a monster disguised as a dorm manager. They took it down swiftly, knocking it out on the spot. The whole process was totally transparent. The fight was intense and thrilling. The monster was so strong. It withstood attacks from 300 fully armed elite soldiers. No way. I have to report this to James ASAP. He clenches his teeth and jumps up.
Clearly.
Waxia already knew about monster disguises and did thorough research. They even figured out monster habits. But over here in America, we know nothing. He hurried off, arriving at the dot director's, James's office. Come in. As he opens the door, he looks anxious and says eagerly, James, we were wrong. Totally wrong. He was about to mention Waxia, but suddenly froze, noticing a document on the desk, a full version of the monster manual. He sighed in relief. So you've watched the Waxia livestream too. Waxia is way ahead of us, especially that Director Lin at the Monster Research Institute. His vision is way ahead of ours. He quickly set up the institute and scored huge research results. Too bad, we don't have talent like that in America. We need to learn from them, fast. After reading the monster manual and watching the live stream, he clearly understood the problem. And he gave you high praise. He wanted to convince James to make the monster manual available nationwide. But James just waved him off, smirking a little, with a mysterious smile. Johnson closed the door first. Johnson froze again, but still did as told, and shut the office door. But as he turned around, he saw something he'd never forget. James's body twisted 270 degrees. Huge scales grew all over him, and he transformed into a violent monster. With a giant bloody mouth, he lunged at Johnson. YouTube, the world's biggest video platform. Someone uploaded and shared Waxia's livestream there, causing a massive stir, like a global earthquake, as big as the event of the century. At first, people everywhere doubted Waxia's Monster Research Institute and the monster manual. But now everyone was stunned. People actually turned into monsters. It wasn't monsters disguised as humans. What are these monsters anyway? They can talk. Do they have human intelligence too? Oh God, is this the end of the world? What if there are monsters hiding around me too? Faced with hard facts, people everywhere realized they were wrong. Suddenly, panic spread among the public worldwide. Waxia wasn't lying. These monsters really are among regular people, perfectly disguised, living and working with them. Who knows? Maybe your parents, family, or even partner is a monster in disguise. Just thinking about it gave everyone chills. They didn't even dare step outside. More and more people started tagging their own governments, saying the US, Taiwan, and Waxia have all set up monster research institutes and worked out the monster manual. What are you doing about it? I don't want to die. I'm still young. I really don't want to die. Japan, hurry up and root out the monsters. Why are you all so quiet now? Monsters are masters of disguise and eat humans, brutal and violent, totally unknown. They have terrified people all over the world. A dark cloud now hangs over every country. Monster Research Institute, dorm manager in the lab, bound tightly by alloy chains, locked down on the lab table. Standing next to him is you, and a bunch of researchers in white lab coats. Finally caught the second monster. Your eyes flash. Your heart is racing. In your past life, the building went through 12 rounds of civilization trials. Before its destruction, scientists had already found a slim chance to survive the trials. Each monster has amazing power. They have supernatural abilities. They seem unstoppable, but as long as the monster dies, something strange will drop from their bodies. By analyzing these items, we can unlock advanced technology.
Take No 001, the immortal.
His power comes from his horns. When he dies, his horns would fall off too. But the thing is, the monster on the table thrashes wildly. He grins and glares at everyone. Even if he's badly hurt, he's still full of energy, letting out waves of rage, roaring madly from his throat. Pathetic humans. This trial is just beginning. Destruction is your fate. Seeing the crazed monster made everyone take a step back. Only you stood still, staring coldly at the monster, and said, word by word, not this time. Last time, too many died. So many gave their lives, just to keep our civilization going. Maybe the will of every Huaxia person gave you a second chance, so you can plan ahead. There's time to trigger the final plan for Huaxia. Second round of monster research begins. You take a deep breath, walk right up to the fierce monster, pick up the scalpel, start the dissection with no expression. No matter how he roars and threatens, you don't budge at all. Seeing this, the others start to feel less scared. Screw him. Heard you ate 5 people. If I don't skin you alive today, then I'll take your last name. The first to move is a middle-aged medical researcher. He's holding a big syringe, cursing as he walks over. He goes for the exposed scales and stabs it deep into the monster's artery. Everyone be careful. His skin under the scales is crazy tough. Must be some new material. Best to peel it off with the scalp. Don't damage him. A materials science professor says, he looks worried. Those horns are also special stuff. Sometimes they send out strange signals. Pull them off with the skull, as a full set. His hair is even waterproof and fireproof. And super warm too. They're all top elites from across the country, experts in their fields. Once fear fades, they all focus on different parts of the monster. Honestly, with powers like these, the whole monster is valuable. So much to research. But the main reason is the monster's endless taunting, saying we're all doomed, really pissed everyone off. Suddenly, in the lab, the monster's screams fill the air. Pathetic humans, you really did this to me. I'm gonna tear you all apart. He howls in pain, keeps on threatening, but it changes nothing. Only gets the researchers more hyped. Outside the lab, Dean, the research has begun. Su-a swallowed hard, staring in shock as you walked out. Even from outside the door, he could hear the shrill screams. The pain was unbearable. No telling what the monster was enduring inside. Where's old Chun? You nodded and asked. After returning from the university, you formed a research team and entered the lab immediately. Captain Chun is leading training. Even the wounded went. I couldn't stop them. Maybe you should go talk to them. After the battle, nearly 100 hunters were injured. But back at the institute, they just patched their wounds and rushed back to train. This is what I compiled. Tactics against the 001 undead. You walked to the office, pulled out a plan, and handed it to Su-a. Go there now, give it to old Chun, and have him train this way. Su-a's eyes widened. He thought you'd stop Chen Gang. But you gave him a plan instead. This was beyond intense. Don't worry, we're out of time. You sighed softly, speaking grimly. Trial day 8 has passed. Tier 2 monsters must have emerged. We must race against time to boost our combat power. Su-a's heart trembled. He recalled that secret file. Monsters evolve by eating humans. Each human they consume takes 24 hours to digest. But as they get stronger, the time gets shorter. With just 10 humans, they can reach Tier 2. Their power will change completely. Defense, speed, and recovery will become even more terrifying. No wonder they were so urgent. Against Tier 2 undead, the team would be wiped out. Don't worry, Dean. I'm going now. Su-a took the plan and hurried to the field. At the same time, since the university incident, governments saw the threat. They followed Daxia's lead, copying every move. Daxia built the institute, so they did the same. Daxia formed hunters, so they did too. Even the monster rules were translated into many languages and went viral worldwide. Unknowingly, the rules you wrote became a global bestseller, the top one, period. In short, whatever Daxia did, other nations followed suit. As the public watched, monsters began to emerge. More people filmed them, Horns, scales, cruel and violent. Killings became frequent. Fear spread across the world. Small nations broke first. Lacking strong forces, the monsters grew bold. They stopped hiding and showed themselves, hunting humans to gain power. The world was in chaos. On YouTube and other sites, as sightings increased, internet users uploaded more videos of monsters eating humans. My neighbor was attacked yesterday. Half his body was eaten. My God, this horned monster shrugs off machine guns. I heard from Daxia that eating makes them stronger. Is it really the end of the world? Humanity ends in a year. Who's behind this damned trial? I don't want any part of this.
Each video
Sparked global debate. Most people are pessimistic, utterly hopeless. This is only round one. More monsters come every month. Humanity could be wiped out by these alien species. Doomsday talk is everywhere, getting worse every day. Global chaos has begun. Looting is more frequent. Order is collapsing quietly, while the world collapses and falls into chaos. Daxia stands apart. Terror is here too. But people aren't so hopeless. Cities are still lit up and orderly. Public safety remains normal. And it's all because of your live stream. From the university crackdown, your actions told them that Daxia is working hard to protect them. Trust our country. Monsters are scary, but we can endure. I sent the rules to my family. Once we spot them, report it immediately. Don't let them evolve. Our fate is in our hands. It's everyone's duty. This monster disaster affects everyone. We must do our part. Stay safe, everyone. Don't burden the country. Online, people support and encourage each other. The disaster is scary, but quietly, it woke their inner strength. Everyone is memorizing rules, trying to identify monsters, and reporting to the Institute. Following the guide, they stay with trusted ones, and never stay alone. Leave the monsters no opening. Daxia is united as one, cooperating with the Institute, and following advice. If something's wrong, they call for help immediately. Everyone knows that in this crisis, as long as they don't get killed, it's the biggest help. Latest news. In a Shanghai apartment, a monster was spotted. A message appeared and caught everyone's eye. Driven by curiosity, many people logged into the official site and entered the stream. Sure enough, Su-a was on camera, broadcasting the latest update. Breaking news, urgent alert. We've received a reliable tip. Someone in a Modu apartment building found a O1 undead. Local military has taken action. The building is now sealed off. Our institute's demon hunter unit is on the way. People near Modu stay safe. Don't go out unless you have to. Please wait patiently for rescue. The Monster Research Institute stands with you. Saul's voice came out soft and calm. There was a gentle steadiness in her tone. She soothed the restless crowd and calmly answered questions from viewers in the live stream, trying to ease everyone's nerves. 3 hours later, the director of the Yanjing Monster Research Institute completed the mission. After the battle, Chan Gang immediately called you to report. He was clearly excited. Director, we followed your tactics. No one was hurt this time. We perfectly captured the O01 undead. Unlike the first fight, this time, we only sent a team of 30 and still caught the monster easily. No one was lost or injured. Remember, during that last battle at Yanzhou University of Technology, even he was wounded. That was also the moment he realized how brutal these monsters were. So after returning to the institute, he trained the demon hunter team day and night. Training methods, you taught him those. Every combat group had 3 heavy sniper specialists aimed right at the 001 undead's horns. The rest helped to distract and block the one's movements and counterattacks. Thanks to their teamwork, they pulled off this amazing win. Glad there were no casualties. A slight smile broke on your lips. This whole approach was learned through countless warriors' sacrifices in your past life. It didn't come easy. Now, it's perfectly suited to counter basic 01 undead attacks. Wanna go report the victory? You then turned around and looked at Saul nearby. Now, besides being your assistant, Saul was also a top national streamer. Every day on her live stream, she answered questions for everyone across Waxia. helped calm everyone down, and eased the nation's anxiety. You've watched civilization fall once before. So you know well, for any nation, any civilization, what matters most? National confidence and unity. If fear spreads through Waxia, people will start to fall apart. Time kept passing. With daily science updates on stream, Waxia's people started to accept this trial. And the fact that monsters exist, the thick fear blanketing the country, slowly faded. The demon hunter team became the busiest department. When monsters were spotted, they rushed out right away, traveling across the nation to handle the monsters themselves. They got stronger through every battle, and their teamwork kept improving. Fights got even more efficient. More 001 undeads were caught, then sent to the research institute. These undeads were, of course, taken straight to the lab, where the science team made good use of them. Detailed research was done on each one. It's worth noting, influenced by you, the research team's methods became harsher, almost cruel. At best, each 001 undead survived half a day, before dying in screams and cries. Attention, recording studio viewers. That's it for today's Q&A stream. Saul looked at the camera, smiled and said, "If you see any monsters, call our hotline right away." With that, she ignored the chat's pleas and ended the live stream. She lazily stretched and walked straight to the dressing room. She took off her casual, youthful streaming outfit and changed out of it, then put on her normal work uniform. The director seriously always says stuff like, "Don't be so serious. Wants me to dress more casual," she muttered in a small voice. She still felt like the director had his own reasons. Warner, gather a report on monster situations in other countries and send it to me. Just then, "You found her." "I'm on it." Saul responded quickly, took a deep breath, got right into work mode, and walked to her office. She called the intel department to get recent international updates. Soon, a thick pile of documents landed on your desk. "Director, right now. It's been 15 days since the first trial of civilization started. Monsters keep popping up around the world. Every country took quick, decisive action, sending in troops to contain and wipe out monsters. Even so, casualties are still extremely high. Among them, the US reported the highest casualties, up to 42,034 people. Next was India, with 21,928 deaths or injuries. Third was Japan, with 3,749 casualties. After saying this, Saul paused a second, then glanced at you. Our country had the fewest casualties. During this whole disaster, Waxia reacted the fastest and acted most decisively, getting impressive results. Remember, the more people a nation has, the bigger the threat from the monsters. Waxia is second largest in population, but lowest in casualties worldwide. Pulling this off, you deserve major credit. The situation's still tough, though. You frowned, not letting your guard down at all. These numbers are about the same as last time. The monster crisis is brewing worldwide, about to explode everywhere. Same here in Waxia. Oh right, just yesterday, the US Secretary of Defense, James, was exposed as a disguised monster. Saul paused again, then added, "The US sent their elite army for a massive manhunt. But James still got away. He didn't really get it. The US has Earth's strongest military, but couldn't take down James?" Level 2, your eyes flickered, and you calmly said, "Most likely, this 001 undead has reached level 2. That's how it dodged that full-on hunt." You weren't surprised by this at all. In your past life, this monster lurking in the Pentagon, WSNT exposed until 2 months later. A real ticking time bomb. This time, dealt a fatal blow to America. Most of their elite troops were wiped out. They're seriously weakened. But this time, maybe it's your butterfly effect. That made James reveal his second form early. Second stage Suler's eyes flew wide open. All this time, he only knew monsters could level up by eating humans. But for second stage undead, he didn't really know what that meant. Second stage undead could actually break out while being surrounded by the most elite US Army. They survived and even got away? Second stage undead are far scarier than that. You shook your head, looking pretty serious. Then you asked, "What about the number of monsters killed by other countries?" Suler was stunned for a moment. He glanced at the documents in his hand and kept reporting. According to official reports from the countries, the US has killed a total of 42 Type 001 undead. Sakura Nation has killed 29 undead. Our country has killed 49 undead. 2 more weeks. You clasped your hands behind your back, gazing out the window. The first round of the civilization trial is about to end. In terms of monsters eliminated, Huaxia is still ranked number 1. The Demon Hunter Squad has now set up 10 permanent bases across the country. Whenever there's a monster sighting, they rush to suppress and eliminate it right away, keeping the public safe. Their kill rate is super high. 2 more weeks. You clasped your hands behind your back and look out the window. The first round of the civilization trial is almost over. As a reborn, only you know. After the end of every round of the civilization trial, that mysterious voice will rate the performance of each civilization. The higher the rating, the better the rewards. Yeah, the civilization trial is kind of like a level challenge. 100 races could get wiped out. But if you pass it, you get all kinds of amazing rewards. In your last life, Huaxia only got an A rank reward in the first round, same as America. Both just got the A rank prize, so everyone's physical strength went up by 10%. But even with this boost, it's still not enough against monsters. Now that you're reborn, you have to find a way to get the top S rank reward. Dean Yuan. Dean, we did it. We made it. Right then, a researcher rushed into your office, excited. His face was full of joy. Totally forgot to knock. But you didn't care about that at all. You jumped to your feet. Your face lit up. And you asked nervously, "You mean the brainwave technology?" The researcher nodded, still excited. Yes. It's the brainwave tech. Following your instructions, we researched the undead's horns day and night. We found a weird brainwave pattern in them. That's awesome. You couldn't help but smile and started clapping with joy. You finally relaxed after frowning for half a month. It's been 2 weeks. All the Type 001 undead brought in by the Demon Hunter Squad were sent straight into the lab. Finally, the tech made a breakthrough. It's time to launch the Sci-Fi Heavenly Court project. You took a deep breath and said in a low voice, "Huaxia Cabinet." Several old-timers were sitting together handling state matters. Things are pretty stable now. Everything is moving in a good direction. But those small countries just can't get stuff done. Even if they copy Huaxia's methods, they still can't suppress the monsters. The countries that mess up first will be those tiny ones like the Philippines. But on the other hand, our country is so stable now. Dean Lin deserves a lot of credit. One of the elders suddenly sighed. As leaders, they all know it in their hearts. This disaster hit way too fast. If Leland hadn't stood up and backed you to form the Monster Research Institute and set up the Demon Hunter Squad, Huaxia would probably be like every other country right now, dragged into the mud by monsters, barely surviving, completely overwhelmed. America is the perfect example. Even the world's strongest nation couldn't stop the monsters. Over 40,000 died in just 2 weeks. Compared to that, Huaxia took the least damage from monsters. The Demon Hunter Squad keeps sending in great news lately, having wiped out 49 undead so far. Another elder paused and looked at Leland. He asked with concern, "There can't be many monsters left in our borders, right?" A few elders exchanged glances, the tension fading from their faces. Everyone looked relieved. Smiles appeared on their faces. The monster guidelines and identification methods have been taught to everyone in Huaxia. Plus, you opened a live stream, broadcasting 24/7 to teach people how to spot monsters around them. With all these measures, it's made a huge difference. Everyone felt optimistic, thinking Huaxia had made it through the crisis. I'm not totally sure how many monsters are left. Milan gave a wry smile, shook his head and said, "Better let Dean Lin explain. Let him fill everyone in." As soon as he finished, there was a knock outside the meeting room. You came in having wrapped up things at the research lab. Walking in quickly, Dean Lin, a few elders greeted you with warm smiles, all looking at you with admiration. Then someone curiously asked, "According to your lab's models, how many undead are still in our territory?" After the civilization trial began, every country got hit with an unknown number of undead. You guessed before. There were probably a little over 50 undead in Huaxia's first trial. with 49 already taken out. There shouldn't be many left. Or so it seems.
But
Your answer made everyone's smiles freeze. Their eyes went wide. They couldn't believe it. There are at least 70 left. Director Lin, what did you say? Li Lan was the first to react. She repeated the question. 70, you replied calmly. Your tone was so calm, it made everyone uneasy. But the other elders couldn't stay seated. They frowned. One asked in a serious tone, Director Lin, the number you mentioned before was at most just over 50. How did you wipe out 49? But there are still 70 left? Everyone stared at you. Simple math under 100. Shouldn't add up to 70 left. At first, there really were only about 50 monsters when they came to China. You sighed softly, then answered gently. But it's been half a month since the first civilizational trial began. Don't forget, monsters can evolve by devouring humans. Based on our institute's latest research, once a monster reaches Tier 2, it gains infection abilities. Everyone looked stunned at those words. Infection powers? You nodded. You explained, every Tier 2 undead can infect one human every day. It erases their original mind, turning them into one of its kind. As soon as you finished speaking, the meeting room went dead silent. Everyone looked shocked and couldn't believe it. You handed the documents to Li Lan and said, just yesterday, an evolved Tier 2 monster appeared in America. Even surrounded by the US Army's elite, it still escaped easily. Hundreds were killed or injured.
hearing this,
The elders who were happy just before immediately looked grim. They had been far too optimistic. In just half a month, other monsters must have evolved to Tier 2 as well. And Tier 2 monsters' infection powers mean their numbers will only keep rising. As long as one monster survives, human civilization will eventually end. Just thinking about that, everyone couldn't help taking a deep breath. Director Lin, you came here today, so you must have a plan to deal with Tier 2 monsters, right? An elder looked deeply at Linmo and asked in a serious tone. Li Lan and the others also looked at you. You adjusted your glasses and said each word clearly, Sci-Fi Heavenly Court. What? Everyone was stunned. You walked to the front. Then you announced a plan that could change humanity's future. Use the power of the whole nation to actually build the legendary highest heavenly court. It would have top-level defenses and detect any abnormal creatures, with heavenly soldiers and mechas soaring through the sky and entering underground, and the supreme palace above the clouds. Most importantly, when it's truly built, it'll be the day everyone in China ascends and becomes like dragons. Your voice echoed in the meeting room. But unlike your excitement, everyone else just looked confused. Li Lan spoke up first, Director Lin. With all due respect, with our current technology, none of what you said is possible. But you weren't discouraged. Instead, you smiled. Before, it was impossible. But now anything is possible. When you said that, Li Lan and the others looked even more puzzled. But you didn't keep them guessing. You took out another SS-level confidential file. Our institute has fully studied Subject 001, the undead. In brainwave technology, we've made a technological breakthrough. An elder seriously went over the file. The more he read, the more shocked he looked. He looked up quickly and asked, excited, Wait, you mean you can actually use brainwaves to remotely control life and death?